Welcome back to another episode of the Fall Ball Fellas. I feel like we can't go more than like 3 straight episodes having the entire group here. It's just me and Burnsy today. There's a lot to talk about, both in the college football and NFL landscape. We're going to do both in today's episode, starting as always with college, although we've been releasing NFL more so recently. There's a lot that happened, obviously, in the set of games that happened from this previous weekend. A lot to talk about with the college football playoff and a lot of those teams sitting right around the lines of will they, won't they make it? And then obviously we got to talk about the Penn State coaching disaster that has been going on with the recruits. That is probably going to be a long, lengthy conversation between the two of us as Penn State fans because it's just been embarrassing. And as always, we'll go with Fall Ball 5 and all of our NFL stuff. So just a short recap of the week. I don't want to go too much into this. Not a lot of the games had huge implications when it comes to the college football playoffs. Now, the biggest one being Texas beating Texas A&M. So let me pull the rankings up real quick. I do remember them, I think, off the top of my head. A&M dropped pretty substantially for their one loss. They dropped to number 7.
Who picked Texas in between the four of us?
Me and you.
That's right.
Yeah. I remember I convinced you off A&M. You told me that in the last episode.
I did say that. You talked me into it.
Yeah, so Marcel Reed struggled. He threw 2 picks, obviously, late in that game as they were trying to get back in it. Arch made a lot of good plays with his legs and with his arm, finding wide-open guys. And their defense showed up to play. Holding an A&M team who's been dropping 40-plus regularly to 17, pretty darn good. Now, there's been a large push on the social media train from Steve Sarkisian to get the Longhorns into the college football playoff as one of the at-large teams. We will talk about that when we go into our playoff chatter. But big win for the Longhorns. A&M does drop to number 7 in the latest ranking, taking their first loss of the season. They are now at the bottom of all those one-loss teams in the top 10, which I find very surprising. We had Georgia beating Georgia Tech in what was a very ugly game, 16-9, I believe. And Georgia Tech had a Hail Mary at the buzzer to try to tie that up, did not. Ole Miss handled the Egg Bowl with ease, 38-19. That game was never really in doubt. And then Oregon handled the Washington Huskies too. So none of those games were really that stressful. The Georgia game never really felt like they were out of control of it. Big news. We said lock it in. Ohio State, easy cover against Michigan on that minus 9.5, minus 10, whatever you got. After a shaky first 5 minutes, they dominated. They let up 6 points. I feel like you watched this game, correct?
Yeah.
When they threw the pick and all Michigan got out of that was a field goal, I knew that I was getting texts from people like, oh, are they going to spring the upset? And I'm like, I'm not worried. They have played as bad as humanly possible the first 5 minutes, and they're only down 6-0. So
that offense is too good.
Yeah, and there's a lot of controversy with that Jeremiah Smith touchdown, which they ended up getting the call correct on the field. It's just we got a lot of non-ball knowers on social media that probably should not have opinions, but they do.
Yeah, that was – I mean – obviously, they had to get past that. I mean, that was a must for them. It took them a couple minutes, but then after that, it was easy from there on out.
I think I saw something along the lines of Michigan had 2 plays for, 4 plays for like 120 yards, and on their other 40 plays, they had like 55 yards. So that Ohio State defense, I saw some statistics with past teams. They let up over or under like 8 points per game and right around 200 yards per game. This is probably one of the best modern defenses we've ever witnessed in college football. So take it in.
Go look at their scores this year, and I think there's been 3 teams that have scored over 10 points against them. And I mean, they have just been dominant.
Let's see. So they gave up, 9 to Ohio, 16 to Illinois, 14 to us, 10 to Purdue, 10 to UCLA, and 9 to Rutgers and Michigan. Yeah, very good. Very, very good. So outside of that, we had Miami absolutely tattooing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has lost to every competent team they played, and no, I'm not calling Georgia
Pitt
Tech
is
competent.
a joke.
The amount of people I see...
And their fans.
Their fans
I'll
just
get the chance to say that every time.
instead of cheering for their own team, they just literally are all over Penn State's demise right now. It's like that Andrew Filipponi guy on Twitter. It's like, keep your opinions to yourself, buddy. All you're doing is hating on this team. Narduzzi hasn't taken you guys anywhere. You guys wish you had the level of success that Penn State did. Shut your traps, stop yapping, and worry about your own team and not getting recruits. You're losing recruits to West Virginia right now. You shouldn't be talking about Penn State, all right? Can't
Well, we
even
are
win the
too.
ACC. Yeah. Well, to be fair, we were losing those
We
recruits
don't have
anyways.
a kicker, so
Yeah.
they do.
Vanderbilt stomped Tennessee. Oh my goodness.
I
If
think I
there
took
was,
Tennessee in this game.
I took Tennessee as well. Three of us did.
Vandy is just hot and cold to Phil. Obviously, Phil took Tennessee, but yeah, Vandy is. I feel like they would be a fun. They're not going to make the playoff, but they'd be a fun team to watch in the playoffs. I feel like they have upset potential anytime they play anyone. Not that beating Tennessee was an upset, but their offense is fun.
Yeah.
Probably is fun to watch.
If we look at their record, though, it's pretty darn good. I mean, 10-2 football team. They are unfortunately not going to make the college football playoff. I saw Pavia had tweeted at President Trump trying to get him to extend the field to 16 teams.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump's going to be able. Maybe he could pull an executive order to do that. If there's a team I would want from that next segment of teams, it's like almost in but not quite. I would want Vanderbilt.
Miami and Notre Dame and like those teams that are on the fringe.
In my opinion, and I know Alabama's probably a lock at this point, all the betting markets suggest it. If Alabama gets smoked in the SEC championship game, I would drop them out. They have not looked great recently. They needed a miracle to beat a bad South Carolina team. And for them to catapult back up to 9 by barely beating an Auburn team that has 5 wins this year.
Yeah.
It took that entire game. They were up 17-0 and blew a lead. I do have that down. They avoided the catastrophe. The one team, oh my gosh, I don't even want to. Have you watched an Oklahoma game yet this year, like a full game?
No, but their offense at the beginning of the year was good, was it not?
No.
At the beginning of the year, Oklahoma and Mateer, wasn't their offense decent at least?
Okay.
Because right now it's horrible.
Okay, so against Illinois State, who is not a Division I FBS team, 35 points. Michigan, 24 points. Temple, 42. Auburn, 24. They've dropped 44 on Kent State. Impressive. Wow. 6 on Texas. 26 on South Carolina. 26 on Ole Miss. Now, their highest scoring output of the season, it looks like, against a competent team, was 33 against Tennessee. And I believe that was because
Tennessee's defense has been a serious letdown this year.
But in that game, it looks like they only had 350 yards of offense, which isn't bad. But Mateer he averaged 5.5 yards per attempt, which isn't great. No touchdowns. And they had a special teams touchdown that game. I believe it was a fumble recovery for a touchdown. So take that off. They're still in the mid-20s, and they kicked a crap ton of field goals. A 4 field goal game from them as well there.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype around them and Mateer being like a Heisman candidate, and it just never materialized.
Well, the same thing as well. We had a defensive score touchdown against Bama. Now, that's a great win at Alabama's home field, but you scored 23 points when it was a defensive score, and the last 2 games have been 17 and 17. They were lucky to escape against LSU. Every single game, and I'll actually lead that into my segment for the day because it comes from that game. My 98 yards with the fellas drive of the week is going to be John Mateer late in the game against the LSU Tigers at home, down 13-10. Mateer throws a strike to his favorite target, Satania, with 4 minutes left in the game. Biggest play of the game, kind of most of their yards on offense came in this play. They stayed in the playoffs because of it. So absolutely enormous for Oklahoma. They definitely 1,000% drop off of playoff contention if they lose this football game. But
yeah,
alas,
where are they ranked now?
They are. I need to have this memorized at this point. But Oklahoma is 8. They've stayed steady.
Oh, they're gonna make it then.
They have one of the best resumes in all of college football. Now they have the non-conference win against Michigan. They have the loss to Texas, lost to Ole Miss. They have wins against Tennessee, which quite frankly shouldn't be in the playoffs anymore. Wins against Alabama, wins against Missouri, and Auburn, who were both ranked at the times they played, but they have two pretty good wins. So
Yeah.
I remember when Mateer got hurt, we were looking at that schedule and being like, there's no way they can make the playoffs with this. But
Yeah.
they took care of business. That
defense has been good. Yeah, it has been.
They rival Ohio State in terms of how good they are. Now, rival in the sense of comparable, but not nearly as good as Ohio State's. Now, if we look at the field right now, how many teams are you willing to say are college football playoff locks?
I think there's probably 8 teams that are locks.
Okay. I want you to tell me those teams. I mean, most of them are pretty obvious. So.
Oh, thanks. Put me on the spot.
Come on. Okay.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay. Indiana.
Yeah.
Tech is a lock. I'm going to say, what's A&M at right now?
A&M's a lock. They don't play another game.
Oh, okay. They're not. That's right. They're not in the SEC championship. I think they're a lock. I think unless Bama gets blown out, they're a lock. I mean, who am I missing?
Ole Miss is a lock.
Ole Miss is a lock, but
you said Oregon's
they don't have a coach
a lock.
Now. Oregon's a lock. Yep.
And you said Georgia already, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So 1 through 8, with Oklahoma included, is a lock. From what the betting market suggests, number 9 Alabama is also a lock. That leaves a spot for 2 automatic qualifiers that will go between. And we kind of need Virginia to win to avoid almost nightmare scenario. I had seen some people wanted to petition for ACC to change their conference championship game, their rules and tiebreakers. Miami should be in that.
Yeah, they 100% should
I don't care about the tiebreakers. Miami didn't play Duke, don't get me wrong. But like, if those 2 teams played on a neutral, Miami would win by 20 plus. And you could say, but they lost to SMU and they lost to Louisville. Okay. Teams don't play their best games.
Is Duke not like 7-5 or 8-4?
Duke is a 7-5 team that if they win the ACC championship game, we could very well see North Texas and James Madison. I'll say North Texas / Tulane because that's going to be a good game. And then James Madison could be the 2 automatic qualifiers, and the ACC not get a single team in.
Well, the ACC is bad, but that is not okay.
It's not okay.
Miami or Notre Dame need Bama to get blown out, I feel like, to have a chance, because I kind of feel like they're just the odd men out right now.
Well, if we're looking at it, the teams that I see that have a chance for those last 2 spots are, from what it sounds like from last year too, the reason Alabama's a lock is they're not, like you said, it has to take like an absolute thrashing from Georgia to knock them out, because they said they're not going to, what's the word I'm looking, penalize teams for making it to their conference championship game and losing. But there's a difference between losing respectfully and losing by like 30 plus. The only other teams available for that last spot, and we talked about them, are Notre Dame, BYU, and Miami. Now, I know I followed this probably a little bit closer. They talk about grouping teams in terms of pods. So they've been grouping teams in like 3 to 4 team tiers, and then comparing resumes within those teams themselves. Now, from what I understand, Miami is in its own little pocket and like the next tier below, and like Alabama, Notre Dame, and BYU have their own pocket. I think Texas Tech's a lock, personally. I don't think BYU in any world would blow them out, but you do get a little bit of controversy if the Mormons end up pulling the upset over Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game, because they have an automatic qualifier right there.
Yeah.
I don't think Tech would fall out, personally.
No, I think they should stay regardless.
They would not. They'd probably lose their home game, hosting a home game, and obviously lose their bye. And I think BYU would then host a game as well.
That'd be crazy. BYU hosting a playoff game.
Yeah. So if BYU wins, that steals the bid from, hilariously, both Notre Dame and Miami. Now, if Texas Tech takes care of business, that drops BYU down. That then puts Notre Dame and Miami in that same pod. Do you think we could see Miami sneaking in resume-wise over Notre Dame if they enter that same discussion in pod?
I think Notre Dame is more deserving just because they're their losses were to higher quality teams. Miami has a couple bad. I mean, SMU and Louisville those are tough losses.
Do you think
So
that this is where the discussion is literally at? If we look at quality of wins, both teams have very, very similar wins in terms of who they've beaten. Miami owns the I beat our common opponents by an extra touchdown kind of thing because they're running the score because they have to. Where do we value the head-to-head? Miami beat Notre Dame in week 1. So where do we value that in all of this? Are the two losses that bad that they don't overtake? And once again, people say it was week 1. Unfortunately, you still play the game and the results still happen.
yeah,
Like, this is the reason Texas isn't in the playoffs right now is, yes, they played a hard game, and people are like, well, we're not going to schedule hard opponents anymore. If you didn't lose to Florida, who is 4-8, you'd be fine. If you didn't lose to Georgia by 4 scores, you would be in. No one cares about that Ohio State game. Yes, it adds an extra loss, but you playing them close helps your resume. The issue is that you lost to a 4-8 team and lost by 20 to Georgia, who is a college football playoff team.
yeah. I still, regardless of how it shakes out, I still don't think it's going to be the 12 best teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
No.
So I don't know how you go about fixing that, but I think Texas is still a top 12 team.
I will give them exactly where they are.
Their defense is good. Arch is playing better. I mean, I don't think they'd have a chance of winning the national championship, but I think they're a top 12 team.
I'll give them, once again, I'm not disagreeing that much. I'll give them top 15. I think Vanderbilt, I know they played, and Vandy literally almost came back from down like 20 in that game. I think that if they played 10 times, they'd probably split 5-5. I think Miami could beat Texas. I think Notre Dame, yeah. Once again, I think that like 12 to 15 range is probably perfect for them. I don't think they're a top 10 team in the country, regardless of them just beating A&M. And that loss A&M just took kind of shows how the committee and the public feel about them. They took one loss at the number 3 spot. Their only loss of the year against a top 15 team, and they dropped 4.
Yeah.
They dropped below Oregon, Texas Tech, Georgia, and Ole Miss. And Ole Miss just not fired, but they lost their head coach, like you said.
Yeah. I think Marcel Reed just is sketchy.
He got hurt.
You can't. I don't think you can trust him. They could make the playoff, and they could lose to anyone that they play.
And I said this in our last podcast.
It just worries me about them.
Marcel Reed is. I'm trying to think of a pro level comparison of like how good you can watch someone be, and then the next week you're like, who is this guy on this field? And I can't think of someone that's been that
Anthony Richardson.
He's all like his goods are like in a 40% completion game. Like,
yeah, he'll have one really good throw, but he'll still be bad.
I'll compare this to the career of Tua Tagovailoa. Some years he's looked like an MVP candidate kind of guy, but then like after he throws 4 touchdowns, he looks like he doesn't know where he's going with the football. He has a noodle arm, and then he gets hit one time and he's unconscious. So like, I didn't have to bring his concussion history into that, but I'm taking shots at Tua. He's a good guy. I like Tua.
Good guy.
But yeah, I think outside of the top 12 we have, and then those automatic qualifiers, I don't think Texas, Vanderbilt, Utah, any of those teams right below have an inkling of a chance to get in the playoffs at this point. So we have 9 of our 12 teams pretty much decided at this point. Well, 10. I mean, we'll get into the games coming up this weekend that are important for the college football playoff. We're actually going to talk about every single conference game. It's going to be a cracked out fall ball 5. It's going to be the fall ball 9 this weekend, but I'm not going to change the graphic.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get into Penn State. So for you guys, I mean, most of our listeners, most of you guys are Penn State graduates or are very aware of the situation they're going on. Everyone that called for James Franklin James Franklin.
I'm gonna
take a step back here because
you can't be this upset already. We just started talking about it.
Everyone that was coming for James Franklin's head, I don't disagree with you though. Like, he had reached his peak as a head coach. I think we can all agree there. He wasn't able to bust out of that slump that he was in when it comes to beating those top teams, which you have to do to win a national championship. Now, we fired a man midseason after he had 2 upset losses. I get it. Everyone was happy with the decision when it was made.
Very bad losses.
we had half of the season to get a head start on this coaching search. Now, we're not going to know what went on behind the scenes. From what I understood, this Sitake guy's been at the head of their talks, and they were trying to be respectful for this whole situation and not alerting his team, not making it big media stuff, because Sitake doesn't seem like that kind of guy. You flip side, Lane Kiffin wants it all about him all the time. He wanted as much drama as humanly possible. Lane Kiffin, good. He's a good coach. He's a scumbag, though. He's selfish.
Yes.
He's a scumbag. I hope it works out for you at LSU. Actually, no, I don't. I don't hope it works out for you at LSU, Lane. You make everything about you. All right. But alas, Penn State, you had nearly 2 months to figure this head coaching hire out. I want to believe that we did not spend 2 months sitting on Sitake just to get outbid by the Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
Who do we even have at this point to hire? Is it just Terry?
I think it's so many candidates have been taken that I think Terry might actually be your best bet right now. That's the only thing. That's the only way you're going to be able to keep some of the players you have.
We have Kalshi right here on Twitter is saying you can't really see it, but the odds on Kalshi to be the next head coach. I don't even know this guy, to be honest, that I see in this coach. You got Terry Dable, who I've been seeing as a popular name. Kyle Flood. Who is that?
I have no idea who that is.
I should probably know that. Manny Diaz, who I wouldn't be that upset.
I thought about him today. I mean,
I thought about him when the
options.
job opened, but also he's coaching for a college football playoff spot potentially this weekend.
We've waited this long. Might as well keep waiting.
Yeah, Dan Mullen, who had a Power 4 head coaching job a few years back with Florida, was horrendous. And then 6%. Can you guess? There's a recent podcast saying that this guy should coach Penn State.
Mike T.
Mike Tomlin.
Noah, I swear to God, I am in such sports hell. I cannot stand Mike Tomlin. If he leaves the Steelers, which I'm begging for, and he went to Penn State, I don't know what I would do with myself. He might honestly be a good college coach.
That would be purgatory, man. That would be absolute purgatory.
Hey, you haven't had to live with it, dude. Steelers life. Oh.
Okay? As long
it's going to be Terry.
I'm a Colts fan, but I still cheer for them. What I've seen is there's a split. The donors and everyone want Terry, and all of the administration wants Dable. Which I think Dable's probably a better X and O's kind of coach. Do I know if he can recruit? I should know his history. Where did he coach in college before he made the jump to the Giants? Because he was a college coach.
He coached in the he was an offensive coordinator somewhere that won Super Bowls.
Oh, let's see. He was. Oh wait, did he not?
Think.
No. You want to know what he was? Alabama 2017. He was in NFL for most of his career. Alabama 2017 OC and quarterback coach.
Who was their quarterback?
I believe that was Jalen Hurts in 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
I have to look at that because 2017 was Tua.
Okay, that's what my guess was. But kind of back to just what an absolute just disaster. Like going into the season, Penn State was one of the top. What would you say? 10 most lucrative places you could go as a collegiate athlete to play football.
I still think it's top 10 to 15, even with this whole thing going on.
Yeah, but we talked about it. You have to have a home run hire if you're. And we don't have any. There are no home run hires. There's not even a hire.
I still don't. I still want to try to throw a lot of money at Chesney and try to poach him from UCLA.
There's no way.
It's not going to happen. He's not even in the market anymore. It doesn't sound like. I mean, I feel like we could steal him from a program like UCLA, but do we want to? If we didn't offer him in the first place, did we get that stuck on Sitake and respect the boundaries that he set that much to then just how do you fly a guy to Pennsylvania to just do a handshake agreement when you're offering this man $11 million when you know how up and down the sport is? You know it was going to get out, and you know that a school like BYU can figure out how to make money. They're a church. For Christ's sake, I don't know if that conflicts with Well, I don't know if that conflicts with their religion, but like I want to be
I don't know.
respectful because BYU fans have actually been awesome throughout this entire encounter. I don't know if you see them on Twitter. They're the nicest people you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah,
They are
I
like
believe it.
rooting for Penn State right now because they feel bad about the situation.
That's pretty bad. That's
Yeah,
where we have fallen, is we have BYU fans feeling bad for us.
I've heard stuff
I
about
just,
BYU's home field that the fans are that nice that it actually freaks teams out to go play there.
uh, Penn State's screwed.
Who are you? Who are you not angry with as a hire? Or are you angry with any hire at this point?
I'm. I don't know if there's anything that could salvage this for me personally. I don't like. Obviously at the time, I thought firing Franklin was the necessary thing, but you have to have a plan. If you're going to do that in the middle of the season with the success they just had, you have to have a plan where your replacement is going to be just out of the park, no brainer, right back into national championship relevancy higher, because it just doesn't make any sense
Especially with
that we were
the
the
schedule
first
that we
team to
have next
fire our
year.
coaches
Do you want to know what sucks about
and
that though?
we're the last one to get a coach. Like, what are we
Kraft.
doing?
Pat Kraft made a mistake when he didn't look at the temperature of some other coaches' seats.
Yeah,
LSU was underperforming for a few years. He could have assumed that job was going to open up. And once again, we're less than a year like removed from being one play away from a national championship game. And yeah, the season didn't go well. I'm sure he felt flack from the fans, from boosters, from donors, whatever it may have been. And he made a decision. Once again, we can look at that decision now and say it was the bad decision. But at the point in time when it happened, everyone was stoked for it. And all the analysts that are like, oh, Penn State messed up so badly, they're the same people that were crapping on Penn State for the last 5
exact
years
same people.
for not winning a big game. So like,
Yes.
once again, shut your yapper. I know
And
this is what you're supposed to do, is do things for clicks and attention. Don't go back on your word. Don't be a hypocrite.
what I've learned is that everyone just hates Penn State.
Yes.
So no matter what we do, they're gonna hate on us for it. So
the amount of like pedophile comments that I see throughout a given day, that it's like, okay, this is a completely different administration.
just
None
give
of
it
these
up, man.
none of these players were here, and they're like, well, some of the fans, the old fans that still support it. It's like
Give
that
it
whole
up.
thing. Joe Paterno was never like civilly or criminally charged. There was an inkling that he knew some stuff, and he followed the necessary routes to to report it. Support is the worst word I could have used there. To report it, but we're not those people. I wasn't even alive when this started. You weren't alive when this started. A lot of Penn
No.
State's fans and students that go there, the athletes, you're going to hate on a program of kids that weren't even born yet, weren't even thoughts in their parents' brains at that point. Like,
Yeah.
it's disrespectful. But the only hire that I actually would be pretty happy about is, I don't know if this is even an option at this point. I want Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah. I will say that would be the one I'd be okay with.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't think he makes it at Alabama for more than a couple more years.
No, and also if they lose to the SEC championship game or lose in the
Yeah.
first round of the college football playoff, he's out.
Yeah.
They expect more.
And if you're Penn State, you might as well wait. You've you're already screwed. You might as well wait.
Exactly. And
So-
everyone's like, well, we need to get a coaching hire. Okay. So National Signing Day was today. And I was arguing with some people earlier. Recruiting matters like 10, 20% of what it used to. When guys can flip like that, signings don't mean anything. And when you can just buy players that you want. If Penn State wanted to, they could have a national championship roster next year if they play the portal correctly. They have the finances. They didn't. If everyone forgets, yeah, we only had to pay $9 million to get out of a $50 million contract. We lucked out there. Virginia Tech paid the man. Yeah, he stole some of our recruits. Sure, they might be good next year.
Most of them.
But there's no ACC team that you can tell me is actually a national title contender. And people are like, oh, well, he's going to make the playoffs there. No, we want national championships at Penn State. We're not playing to make the playoffs and lose by 30 in the first round. So, James Franklin, congratulations to you. You're going to be able to meet the bare minimum at a program and be hailed like a god. You couldn't do that at Penn State. And he's also, a lot of the stuff, did you see his interview today? He had crumble cookies sitting out in front of it.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Scumbag.
because we could talk about this forever. My
We
last
could.
thing about this whole thing is I hate James Franklin as much as anyone else involved in the
Yeah.
situation. Because first, when you saw our season starting to go downhill a little bit, he gave up on that. He gave up on that team. You saw it from his interviews. They asked him, "Do you still want to coach? You still want to be here at Penn State?" And he wouldn't give a straight answer. He wanted out. He quit on that team and program as much as anyone else. He is just as much to blame. ESPN will give him all the credit, all the praise. He was treated horribly by Penn State. He couldn't win a big game, and then he quit on his program. So all this stuff about James Franklin being a good guy and poor James, I feel so bad. He was treated like crap. I don't feel bad. And I hope they never win another game. I hope he never wins a game at Virginia Tech.
That would be awesome.
Because honestly, he sucks.
He
puts
selfish.
on this face of how he's such a great guy, and I don't believe it. I choose not to believe it.
I'll make like 2 more points before we go on this, because like you said, we could probably talk about this for another 30 minutes. And I don't know how to put this. Maybe I won't put it a certain way. Maybe we'll just put this conversation to bed. But there's some hires that could be good. If we can get a hire that has a college base already, and we can get some recruits from their school, Duke would be a good one. Obviously, Alabama would be a great one, because we would get SEC level talent pretty much shipping and portaling immediately over to us.
Yeah. That's our only chance. We need
that would be ecstatic. And the other thing, I did want to give a shout out to our 2 4-star players that did stick with and sign to Penn State. You guys are our heroes.
Shout out to them.
Jackson Ford, a 4-star defensive end. You're coming to the right school if you're a defensive end. Now, the man that flipped from Auburn, Peyton Falzone, or Falzone, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Thank you for also committing to us. That's awesome. So we have 2 4-stars that committed. And
it's good to see a couple. There are some people out there that are true to their word and actually will stick with what they wanted originally. Exactly. I hate the whole commit to the coach, not the program BS. Like how it is these days. It sucks. So
I agree with you.
Shout out to those kids.
I like this way, but also I will say, if we got recruited by a coach for 3 years and he promised us playing time and a specific contract or whatever it may have been, he's not at that program anymore. I do understand why guys leave. But when it comes to recruits, guys that are on the active roster with that coach, I understand them jumping in the portal to join that coach. Guys that were just given promises that might not have ever came true and portaled out after a year, still give that program a chance. Okay?
Yeah.
That program wanted to give you money. It's not the coach that's giving you the money. It's the program that's giving you the money. So I do want to say congrats, Penn State. You did get 2 recruits today. So
awesome. We have not 4 0. Players on the active roster next year. I might go back and walk on. Who knows?
Hey, I think we get our kicker back for another year, and he's pretty darn good.
Hey,
yeah. All right.
So let's move on to our picks.
Let's get into the conference championship weekend of the Fall Ball 5. We're going to start off by just announcing the records real quick. I can't pull away from Hunter right now. This man we're just going toe to toe. We've been doing it for most of the season. It's a tie again going into this. Now, since Hunter's
not here, let him get Bama all by himself last week was kind of ridiculous.
Bad. Yeah, that was real bad. And then he got Vandy on his own.
Tough for us. For me, I mean, I'm not really in it.
I have picked against Tennessee every single week, and I take the consequences of they've won every game that I picked against them, and then the one game I pick them, they lose. Hunter and I are 46-29, pretty respectable record right there, hitting at about a 67% clip.
Oh, no way.
Phil is 34-41, so it's been a rough year for him. He's been going the underdog route for a lot of the year, and has not really paid off.
He stays true to who he is, and his pick.
Does. It's true. And Burnsy 5-5. So
sweet. Call me Mike Tomlin. How I'm mediocre.
Call him Mike Tomlin, baby. All right. So we'll go first matchup. For like the bigger ones, we can talk a little bit about the game itself. But for right now, let's just go Kennesaw State. My bad. I'm not going to break the rules. Okay. I'm not going to break the rules. We'll go largest spread to smallest spread. I'm not even going to check to see if these adjusted. I wrote these down yesterday. I'll have to double check for our best bets and stuff later. But first matchup, we got Troy playing the James Madison Dukes. Lost their head coach Chesney, it appears, to UCLA. I do not think he will be coaching in this game. Who you got?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. Give me the Dukes.
Yeah. They're 23.5 points in this game. I've heard it's going to be an absolute blizzard.
Oh, that'll make it fun at least.
Maybe Troy will
Maybe they,
cover.
yeah, Troy could cover.
So, honestly, I might just pick them to cover with the head coach being out and the
Yeah,
weather. I think 23.5 is a lot of points for a conference championship game. I'm taking the Dukes as well, though. It's just if they are minus 3,200 odds on favorite, and I've watched a lot of their games this year, they've been a wagon for team total overs. Yeah, I'm taking the
that
Dukes here.
sucks that these smaller teams that are fun and exciting just get their coaches poached immediately, though,
They're going to
doesn't
get
it?
all their players coached in the offseason, too. Signetti took his
Yeah,
entire roster of that talented
I
team.
know. What a shame.
Yeah. Next game, second largest spread of the conference championship games, and it is going to be the biggest game that we talked about for actual playoff outcome. BYU playing Texas Tech. Tech is a 12.5 point favorite. Who you got?
I have Tech winning. I think BYU could make this a close game. I think the whole thing with their coach, Penn State, I think him staying, rallying the troops, I think they'll be motivated for this game. What are they? What did you say? 11 and a half, 12 and a
12
half?
and a half, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think BYU can win this game, but I think it's close.
Yeah, you know how they say you can't win a game 3 times in a year against the same team? Well, this is only the second time they played this year. Give me Texas Tech, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, this game was 29-7 and was not competitive. And this
Yeah.
meeting was around a month ago. So Texas Tech's too talented. You cannot withstand their pass rush. I don't think they even cover this game. I want to see BYU would be a good story in the playoffs, but they would not be competitive in whatever game that they play. Give me the Red Raiders. Next game, which is hilarious that this is the third largest spread of the week. Indiana versus Ohio State. 4.5. Ohio State.
Whew, we got a lot of close games then to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Man, for just to kick off this game, I would just like to say what a joke it is that College Game Day is not at this game.
I commented on some guy earlier, and I said no one wants to watch the SEC Midfest every single year.
I feel like I have to watch Georgia and Bama play 4 times a year. It's so annoying. But I've said what I've said about Ohio State, and until I'm proven otherwise, give me the Buckeyes.
I'm going to take Ohio State here, and just until someone stops or shows a weakness in this football team, I'm always going to bet their spread. I'm probably going to put a bit down on -4 here. Maybe it will buy that all down.
I'd like
to
6.5.
I would buy it to a
Minus
touchdown.
6.5.
Once again, like if Indiana loses this game 23-13, it's a win for Indiana, in my opinion. Being able to keep it within 2 scores of this Ohio State team is very impressive.
I do think it's going to be a big Hoosier turnout there. I mean, it's basically a home game. So
the only thing that I could see maybe happening here, I believe this is going to be I don't know if they're letting him coach. They probably aren't, but Hartline's gone now. So they will be down their OC.
Are
they letting him coach?
I don't think they're letting him coach.
Yeah, they usually.
I don't think
if you're getting hired, they usually don't let you coach for your old team.
Who's stepping in? You know.
If I know one thing, that they kind of put Hartline on a leash a few years back to run that offense. Day's going to run that offense, and it's going to click just as much. And Day was running this offense pretty much last year, so
yeah, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
Unless they're somehow would play Michigan. You saw how he calls plays against that.
Yeah. Hey, this past year it worked. So, yeah, we're both on Ohio State here. I just don't see Indiana winning this football game.
Yeah, they cover too.
Mountain West, UNLV versus Boise State. Boise's a 4-point favorite.
Huh. I don't have any notes on this game. I just have UNLV.
We're going toe for toe today. I'm taking UNLV as well.
I've watched a couple Boise State games, and they just do not look good to me. So that's my analysis.
Where is this? Is this game at Boise?
Why would it be at Boise? Is it not neutral site?
Well, sometimes the neutral sites are a team's home site. I don't know what Albertson.
Kind of like Indiana, almost.
Yeah. I don't know what Albertson Stadium is, so if someone wants to correct me and tell me, I don't get how Boise's a 4-point favorite when their offenses look. UNLV does have a horrendous defense, and this Dan Mullen guy I talked about earlier, he is playing for better jobs. Don't get me wrong.
Is he their head coach?
Yeah, Dan Mullen's the head coach for UNLV.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude likes gambling. Give me UNLV as well. I don't think Boise's that
Unless
good.
they're playing on the blue turf. Give me
Literally.
UNLV.
All right, next game. Duke versus Virginia. Virginia's a 3.5-point favorite. Who you got?
Oh, this is tough. I mean, I think I have Virginia. I have Virginia winning.
This game was just played a few weeks ago as well, and Virginia was up 31-3 going into the fourth quarter. Give me the what are the Cavaliers? Give me the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and give me Manny
Football game as
Diaz
well. Yeah, and then give me
to
Manny
be
Diaz.
our coach.
I want Darian Mensah as our QB1 next year. Give me Darian Mensah. Actually,
I know
I
nothing
can't say
about him.
that. Grunkemeier's been playing well.
Yeah, he's. I hope he stays.
I don't dislike him. All right, this game is going to be a Friday night game. One of my most exciting games that I want to watch this weekend. North Texas 2.5-point favorites against Tulane Green Wave. What do we got?
Yeah, my only analysis for this game was that Tulane did just get their head coach poached, correct?
Summerall got hired to
Florida?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, give me North Texas. They're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I like. Well, their head coach got poached too.
Okay, give me a tie.
Yeah, their head coach went to Oklahoma State.
Oh.
Yeah.
What, the worst Power 4 team that there is?
Oh, geez. North Texas just hired Neil Brown. That was West Virginia's head coach before. Yeah, he just got hired by North Texas too. Yeah, there's been this coaching carousel. This coaching carousel has been absolutely nuts this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me North Texas.
Okay. I will take. This is tough. See,
you can't just keep copying my picks.
This match, but the issue is you're picking everyone that I came into mentally picking.
I had mine written down. I was set.
I've also only picked one upset so far, which was the UNLV pick. But like, I also like North Texas here. I don't know if you've watched.
Are they favored?
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5. That's right.
I don't know if you've watched Drew Mestamaker play this year. Dude could go off for 505 touchdowns at any point in time. And Tulane, you know who their quarterback is? The BYU, baby. Jake Retzlaff. He was BYU's quarterback last year. He was in that big. He got a sexual assault scandal, and it turns out it wasn't actually a sexual assault scandal, but they found out that it was consensual. But because he goes to a Mormon university, they had to kick him off the football team for having premarital intercourse. So
I agree.
Keeping it like very PG right now.
Give me North Texas.
Give me North Texas, baby. Also, you have the Mean Green versus the Green Wave.
That's awesome.
That's an awesome matchup.
Yeah.
Okay. This game, Kennesaw State versus Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I could not tell you a thing about this. None.
Who you got, though?
I do have Jackson State written down. That is my pick.
Okay. This is where I'm only doing this for the sole fact that I don't want to copy you for everything. And Kennesaw State won me some money this past weekend. So I'm going to go with Kennesaw State. They're 2.5-point favorites, but I just remember they were the worst. They were the easiest team to get recruited to in College Football 25 because they were the worst team of the game.
That's right.
So I was a running back for a year at Kennesaw State. I don't even know what their mascot is.
Rooting for the alma mater.
They're the Owls. The Kennesaw State Owls.
Okay. I had no idea.
Yeah. All right. And like I said earlier, guys, we'll have Phil and Hunter's picks up in the graphic. Just don't have them right now. I do have Phil's, and I'll announce his picks for the best bets and underdogs. But for now, we'll make the graphic. Next one, Miami, Ohio versus Western Michigan in some action.
I love action.
Who you got?
Well, my only analysis for this game is that my Lord and Savior, Benjamin Roethlisberger, went to Miami of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And I would never pick against him. So give me Miami of Ohio. The Red Hawks, I believe.
You know who my Lord and Savior is?
Peyton Manning.
Yes, but Danny Dimes. And you know where Danny Dimes went to college at?
Duke.
The University of Duke. And this has nothing to do with this game, but it's not Ben Roethlisberger. So give me Western Michigan. Give me the Broncos
Duke
here.
Earlier.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But give me the Broncos here. My sole reasoning for this is I have never seen Western Michigan in a MAC title game. I see Miami, Ohio in it a lot. Give me the Broncos here, all right? Now, the last game, the one we talked a lot about, and good Lord, did we take a long time on this college part of this. Honestly, we don't have a lot to go through in the NFL since college is like packed right now because you have so much content coming in. And then once the playoffs are done for college, or as the playoffs start happening, we have less to talk about, or more, I guess, how you want to view it. And we'll have more NFL to talk about. But last game, Georgia Bulldogs taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide, the most common SEC championship game we've seen over the last decade. It's always a banger, always close. Who do we have here, Burnsy?
Give me Georgia.
Any reason?
Bama hasn't looked very good to me, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rooting for Georgia and I root for DeBoer to leave. So I have hope as a Penn State fan.
Give me Georgia by 40. Give me DeBoer leaving crying. And give
40.
me DeBoer walking in to Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, and bringing that entire roster with him.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
I almost said I want Jeremiah Love. I meant Ryan Williams. I want Ryan Williams.
Oh, that'd be nice.
But when is Penn State ever going to prioritize wide receivers? No wide receiver would want to come play for us unless we switch our offense.
We used to. Chris Godwin, shout out.
It's crazy how much we went from like prioritizing wide receivers and like a downfield passing attack to just ground and pound tight ends.
Well, Andy Kotelnicki is inept and is horrible.
I don't even want to talk about him. Like,
so,
I've made my speech before, but also wait, let me make my pick and then we can do anything there. I'm picking the Georgia Bulldogs as well. And not only this isn't about the DeBoer thing. Georgia's a better team.
They're just better.
They've been playing better down the stretch. This game is in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. So it is. Georgia plays like 10 in-state games a year. They barely have to travel ever. Yeah, give me Georgia in this football game. They're better. And
I'll take them to cover too.
Just do. I'll take them to cover 2.5, man.
Yeah,
I'll take up 6.5.
6.5 probably.
Yeah, exactly. What were you gonna say?
That's what I was gonna say. I'd take Georgia to cover in this game.
Okay, but guys, like always, we'll have this graphic up. Please, next year, and I'm already making this a thing. I don't even care what the fellas say. We'll be doing kind of like what me and Phil used to do with the Sticky Six back in the day when we had that podcast. We're going to do a weekly thing next year in college football for the Fall Ball 5. Or if you go 5-0, we'll give you $5. All right? It's a nice, easy way, number one, for you guys to listen to our episodes, so maybe you can get a little intel on who the good teams are. And then you get a chance to win money every single week. There's 14 weeks in the college football season. You got conference championships, add another week, and then you got the playoffs. Talk about the playoffs. And you can win. If you hit 5-0 every week, if you're just that darn good and you're sharp with it,
quick math.
You can win. You can win close to what was 16 weeks? Let's just go $80. How about this? All right, let's just go $80. Maybe we'll raise the stakes from week to week, but we're gonna do a competition next year with that. So drop your plays in the comment section once we post this, and see how you do against the fellas. All right. But yeah, that was 50 minutes. We wanted to keep this episode under an hour, so a little bit long. I don't think NFL should take more than like 20 minutes max. There was not a whole lot. Yes, it was Thanksgiving week. I'll go through the biggest things that happened. You tell me when to stop, and we'll chat about it. So, big news from the NFC North. Packers take a game over the Lions, knock them a couple games back, and this will leak into another division that we talked about, the Eagles losing to the Chicago Bears. First off, I want to I just want to say, Eagles, I picked you in a survivor pool this week. We're the only ones that picked you. I don't know why I picked an 8-3 team against an 8-3 team. I didn't think the Eagles would lose 2 straight games, especially near Thanksgiving with all the fans there. And it's not like the Bears played that. The Bears were running at will. It's not like Caleb Williams played great, but
no, he's actually been not very good at all. Yeah. Like all year.
I don't know if you checked our league. I just cut him in the Bellwood League. So if you want him, go get him. I'm not going to take him.
Jared Goff.
Yeah,
the Cowboys.
I just picked up Jordan Love because he plays the Bears secondary. And Jaden Daniels is somehow going to come back this year. I don't get it, but
I said it weeks ago on this podcast. The Eagles' offense is nauseating, and it's awful.
It's very nauseating. Yeah. Well, we can talk about that more when Hunter's here because then we can actually rage bait someone. But we're not going to do it.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it behind his back.
Yeah, that NFC North though is shaping up to be pretty good. We got the Bears at 9-3. Packers at 8-3-1, and the Detroit Lions at 7-5. I said all of these teams are going to finish somewhat similar, and everyone called me crazy for it. They're not going to finish quite at the record that I had said they would, because the Bears have already passed their 8.5 team total wins. And we talked about making that locks podcast or that locks episode to see how we were doing. We need Hunter back for that, guys. So we will do that. We promise. When it comes to the NFC East and the Eagles, they are now they're 8-4. The Cowboys are 6-5-1. So
yeah,
what is that? A game and a half back?
Cowboys are coming.
Yeah, I still think the Eagles win this division, but the Cowboys are making a strong playoff push.
Do they play again? Those two teams.
The Eagles beat them in week 1, and then the Cowboys just beat them. Yep. And then the last Thanksgiving Day game, a little bit of a surprise. Looked like the Bengals or the Ravens were going to run away with this game early, but that likely fumble out the end zone changed the complexion of the game, and the Bengals never looked back. They dominated the rest of this. Lamar looked horrendous against one of the worst defenses the entire season. I don't know if he's still hurt. He's definitely still hurt.
Has to be.
But it kind of bailed the Steelers out a little bit, who also took a loss against the Bills, got absolutely boat raced. So those two teams play this coming week, and this is going they play this week. They're going to be in Baltimore, but this is the first of 2 matchups in the last 5 weeks of the season. Whoever wins this kind of has a nice track to win the division. But this one is, you could arguably say, I think this is the worst division in football this year outside of the NFC South, maybe.
Yeah, it's like the South the other year when the winning team was like in the playoffs was like, what, 7-9?
Yeah, and with the Bengals coming back, like with Burrow
the Bengals
coming back,
could legitimately win this division.
The Bengals play the Ravens at home. They play the Bills away next game, which is tough. But then they have the Dolphins, Cardinals,
3
Browns
easy
in the
games.
air.
Yes.
So they could make a push here.
Granted,
they have to take
the
one of those
Steelers have the
two.
Dolphins and Browns too.
Yeah.
But they could lose to anybody because they're that bad.
Well, that's, once again, the Ravens have to play the Bengals, Steelers twice, Packers, and Patriots. That is a tough schedule. Pittsburgh plays the Ravens, Browns, Lions, Dolphins, and Ravens.
The things that Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are going to do to the Steelers, I may never recover from. Seriously.
Yeah, but that division's open again. Like, the Bengals could make
wide
a push
open
here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd wonder what the odds would be on the Bengals to win the division right now.
It's probably like plus 800 at this point, and I guarantee the Ravens are pretty high up to win this, but also they don't look good.
I'll
tell you right now,
although Derrick Henry is going to run for 300 yards on Sunday against the Steelers. So,
all right, let's see. To win the division,
it's probably plus 400 is my 450. The Bengals.
So what's funny is the Steelers are plus 100 to get
their
first.
Favorite.
No, Steelers are plus 1. Oh wait. Nope, that was not it. My bad. I read that wrong. I don't know why they had second in the top left. To get first in the division, the Ravens are minus 250, which is like horrible odds for how they're playing. You have the Steelers at plus 285, and the Bengals to get first are plus 900. That's value that you could actually invest in right now.
Yeah,
I would not blame you if you sprinkle a little bit on that.
8-9 or 9-8 is probably going to win the division.
Mm-hmm. And this feels like the old AFC North.
No, because I have Big Ben in it.
AFC South had a little bit of a mix-up. The Panthers, actually, they're now tied with the Buccaneers from what I saw. I don't think they own the tiebreaker. Yeah. And the Bucs also have one less loss. So Carolina, though, upsetting the hottest team in the NFL of the Rams, Stafford. It was like as soon as they announced that he had set the record for most consecutive touchdown passes without throwing an interception, breaking Tom Brady's record by 1. He then threw a pick, and then he threw another pick. So It was. The Panthers are fun, man.
They are fun. The thing that I think the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL. What worries me about them? Did you notice in this game when it started like raining hard is when that game took a turn. They cannot play in any sort of elements. You saw the playoff game last year against the Eagles where the snow and they lost that game. That worries me, them being a team that their home stadium's in a dome. That if they have to go somewhere like they have to play in Green Bay, or they could lose those games because they can't play in the weather.
Do you
But
know what's funny though? Outside of Seattle, which is probably going to be for the division, they play the Cardinals, who have a dome stadium. Lions at home, even if they played at Lions, dome stadium. Falcons, dome stadium, and then at home against the Cardinals, dome stadium.
don't.
So they only have one more potential weather game the rest of the season. But let's see. I am curious about that now. So like games that they played in weather.
And Stafford has played in the dome his whole career, his entire career.
Actually, I'm not going to compare it to anything because the weather was nice earlier this year, so it's not like they had to play in any ugly weather games.
Yeah, but it was pouring in Carolina. I don't know if you watched it.
It was. And then the only other game that I really wanted to take a note of was the Patriots game. The Broncos, already mentioned the Bears. Yeah. Honestly, the teams that are up top in their divisions are staying hot. So just doing what they're supposed to be doing right now.
Broncos are overrated, but we don't have to get into that. They barely win every game.
Yeah, they probably should have. If it wasn't for a Benito hand, that they lost the Commanders. And the Commanders are one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. So
yeah.
Are there any like big injuries or stories that I'm missing from this past week? I don't think anyone got hurt, right?
I don't think so. I mean, Rodgers got banged up again.
Amon-Ra is a big one to keep an eye on because they play tomorrow night.
Yep.
Against the Cowboys.
I need him. That's going to be a great game.
That's going to put whoever wins this on if the Lions win this, I think they're a playoff team. If the Lions lose this, it's actually in jeopardy.
Yeah, they're 7-5, right? The Lions. They'd almost have to win out if they lose tomorrow.
Because there's some teams with good records in that league.
I saw a thing on Twitter. It said if the Bears win, they remain the 1 seed. If they lose, they fall to the 7 seed on Sunday. That's how close the NFC is.
There's no way that's true, bro.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god! Wait.
That's true, isn't it?
The 7 seed in the NFC is 9-4. It's the Niners. Yeah. That's crazy.
I know.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
It's so much better than the AFC this year. It's nuts.
Well, yeah, AFC 7 is. I mean, it's 8-4, so it's like one game and one loss. But the Colts went from being the number 1 overall seed 2 weeks ago to being the 6th seed and being 1 game out from being 3rd in their division right now.
Texans are playing good ball.
Yeah, and it does not get any easier, and we'll talk about this in a second. Outside of that, I don't think there were any big injuries. I'm trying to glance through teams right now to see if there's anything. The Amon-Ra one is going to be big for Thursday, obviously.
I think he plays. I think they need him.
They should.
They're must win right now. So.
Yeah. I know Drake London was out for this game. I don't know if he's going to be back for this coming week.
Falcons are irrelevant.
That's true. Kyron Williams got banged up a little bit in this game. I know he did return, but he's nursing a little bit of an injury right now. And I do want to make a comment here on a few guys that are returning or potentially returning in the next week or two. Now, it appears Amarian Hampton, rookie running back that had a few good weeks earlier in the year, he was on the IR for quite some time. It appears he will be making his return this week. And we have a couple other big ones too. Mike Evans has returned to practice. Has returned to practice. And I scooped him up in a couple of leagues. I have him in 3 or 4 of my leagues just in time for the fantasy playoffs, in which I am in the playoffs for all 3 of those leagues.
McMillan's back too for them. They're getting all their guys back, the Bucks.
Bucky, because Bucky played this week too.
Bucky's back, yep.
They're getting healthy at the right time. Number one, I think they need to win their division to make it. But if all those guys are coming back, they're a better squad than
I still don't have faith that the Panthers are going to be relevant in that division.
No, I hope they are. But all right, are there any other stories when it comes to fantasy? How are your fantasy leagues going right now?
I gotta beat Blair this week in our league to make playoffs. It's pretty much winner makes playoffs. So. An injury that we missed was Herbert had surgery.
Oh, non-throwing hand, yeah.
But
I saw
he
that.
should play some. Or they play Monday night.
Also, wait, the other one I didn't bring up was Jaden Daniels. Looks like he's probably going to play here soon.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of that is, but
Yeah, they're bad. I would just keep your superstar quarterback healthy and live to
yeah,
fight another day next year. Dude, in our league though, that the Bellwood League, when I look at it, um, I have one game on Blair. Well, actually, we all are 7-6. I'm safe because I have more points. Here's what's going to happen though.
yeah. If
If
I
I
beat, yeah, go ahead.
if you beat Blair, but Blair outscores me by 29 points, you both make playoffs. I have to
Yeah,
lose though. I have to lose. Now, you losing, it's impossible even if I lose because you are down by 130 points to me,
yeah. Listen,
score wise.
I got a scrappy ball team
A
I have
scrappy
assembled
bunch.
here. Okay, Jameer
It's a
Gibbs
it's a good
carries
team,
me.
man. I don't know how. Like fantasy's such a funny thing because you look at some teams, you're like, how is this team not? I,
Yeah,
I not to hate
Jameer
on my
Gibbs is my only hope.
not to hate on my wife here for a second, but like she has grinded through the playoffs as a 6 seed in one of her leagues, and she's competitive. She might make the playoffs in the league that I commissioned to. She's one game off. She needs a little bit of help, and funny enough, I can help her because I play one of the guys she is in competition with to make the playoffs. But she has like Pacheco as her running back too, and I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah,
It's
I'm in a league with my girlfriend, and she actually got last place out of 12 teams, so she will be facing a fantasy punishment.
that's
Shout out to Jen.
we do the playoffs for it. So okay, her team though, dude, she has McCaffrey and Kittle on bye in a must-win matchup.
Oh, you haven't been by in our Bellwood League or
Mm-hmm.
McCaffrey. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantasy's fun.
Amon Ra got hurt last week, or else she'd be in the playoffs. She needed 15 points from Amon Ra to win, and he scored hers 0 because he got hurt on like the
Suck.
first drive of the game. Hurt. Okay, not to just throw shit on my wife right now. In our league, she has to start from injuries, and because our waiver wire is barren. Like I have some people in my league
Yeah.
that just scour and fill out waiver after waiver after waiver. She is starting Etienne as her running back one this week, and Ty Johnson.
Oh boy.
Now, the thing about Ty Johnson, he's not great, but they also play the Bengals. So, like,
It's a
there's
lot
some
of passing work. Who knows?
potential. And I wish I'd convinced her into another route here. We're starting Devon, like her wide receivers, though, like Amon Ra, Rashi, and Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
It's a solid bunch.
It's good.
But
That's a good
we're
group.
starting Devon Vele and our second flex this week.
Hey, I might have to start him in our other league we're in on
Oh
Sleeper.
my god. Did someone else
Vele. I
pick up?
actually think I am starting him.
I told her to pick up what's his face? Who else picked him up? A.D. Mitchell. Oh, the guy that I'm playing picked up A.D. Mitchell in this league. Of course he did. And is he starting him? No, he's not starting. So he picked him up just to bench him. That's hilarious. All right, let's get into. Are you ready for our best bets and underdogs now?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I gotta do the intro now. Welcome to the Fall Ball Fellas. Best bets and underdogs. Now, just like we did with the Fall Ball Fellas this episode, just gonna go over the units. Got Hunter falling back 2 units again to 9.9 units down for the year. Now, we did start this about halfway through the year, so it's not indicative of everything. And once again, we only have 2 plays. I think most of us are up actual like betting real money on this, but for this show, obviously we have some things we got to stick to. I am down 8.3. I'm sorry. I posted and I shouted out Jameer Gibbs 5+ first quarter receiving yards. And then the Lions proceeded to do nothing that entire first quarter. And the Packers held the ball for, I think, 10 minutes of the first quarter. And Gibbs didn't even have a target. So just horrendous on my end. I dropped 2 units, 8.3. Browns were also a terrible bet. So have nothing there. Phil hit his best bet and money line and goes up half a unit on the year. And
Okay, Phil.
Burnsy, you guys both cashed on the Cowboys. I know you say you would have went 4-0 last week. I'm sorry I didn't let you play catch up a little bit. It's just not fair. I want to put in 4 plays. It's a week-to-week game. You were up 2.9 units.
Just call those my bonus bets. So I
Yeah,
was 4-0 last week.
There you go. And since we don't I have Phil's picks in here. I'm gonna learn yours. I gotta write these down. But I'll let you go first. What do we got as our best bets and underdogs for the week, Burnsy.
All right, my best bet is going to be Miami minus 2.5. I actually forget who they play.
The Jets.
Yeah, minus 2.5. I think the Jets are at home, but Miami's actually been playing pretty good football lately.
Yeah.
So
they struggled that second half against the Saints, but they got a big enough lead. So I got you.
Miami's
what do we
my
got?
best bet.
What do we got
and
now?
My underdog is actually the Commanders. They play the Vikings. And J.J. McCarthy is horrible. I mean, their season's cooked. So I just think the Commanders are playing some inspired ball with their backup quarterback. And if Jaden Daniels is back this week,
yeah,
I like it. I don't know how are the Vikings favored?
Home and Mariota. I don't know. These teams are very, very similar.
So the books think Mariota's playing.
I would assume if Daniels comes back, I think this line flips on its head.
Yeah, I like.
But they open up his window.
As of right now, when I checked before, Commanders were 2.5-point dogs, so they're my underdog pick of the week. And if I were to give a bonus pick, this is just me throwing this out in the universe. I'm a total sicko. Okay, I need actual mental help. Probably. The Steelers being 6-point underdogs against the Ravens with how bad they have been playing the Ravens is crazy. I would pick the Steelers to cover, and that makes me sick. They might lose by 30 because they're terrible.
That is hilarious.
6 points in the AFC North is a lot of points.
Don't talk to Phil about those Steelers. That's Phil's underdog of the week is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Plus,
shout out.
What do we got? Plus 235 right now. Yeah, he originally told me plus 245, but it is at 235 at the time. And he also
did he go Steelers?
No. He's staying with the trend though. Who do the Philadelphia Eagles play this week?
I saw this. Who do they play?
I'm so sad Hunter's not here to watch this greatness. They're playing the Eagles. The Chargers are playing the Eagles.
The Eagles are favored too.
Chargers plus 130 for Phil as his best bet.
Honestly,
so I like two money line plays.
I like it.
Now
he just picked the Eagles and Steelers games. I respect.
But once again, he stays consistent with who he is. That's what I appreciate about him.
He is who he is.
Now, I don't have Hunter's place yet. Once again, we'll post those. Mine. I actually did a lot of digging into this. Now, I think this is very interesting, and I'm taking this more for value and because I need to make a bit of a comeback. You're giving me a 9-3 team at plus 270 this week? The Bears are plus 270. Yeah. You're giving me a 9-3 team that just beat the Eagles away, and they're playing the Packers, who plus 270, man, that is value. So if you guys are looking for a value play, I'm going to say value one more time. Plus 270 on the Bears. They're a 9-3 football team. They're darn good.
It's a pretty big spread.
Plus 6.5. I'll spread that to 7.5, and you're not missing a beat. All right?
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I bounced around with this. I'm going to give you guys a bonus pick as well. This is a principal play, and it pains me to say. The Indianapolis Colts have lost 8 straight matchups in Jacksonville.
I thought about that one too.
Give me Jacksonville money line plus 105 is my best bet. This is a principal play based off their past 8 matchups. The Colts cannot win in Jacksonville. It's a divisional game. It's away. Until they win one of these, I'm going to pick Jacksonville every single year that the Colts have to travel down to them. But my best bet, you had brought it up. The Falcons are a bit irrelevant. Seahawks are only 7-point favorites in Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't have that good of a home atmosphere, and they suck this year. Why are fans going to show up and cheer on this team? The Seahawks are still cooking.
There's some fishy lines out there.
That's a fishy line right there. 7-point favorites. They must expect, Bijan went off last week against the Jets, and they still lost.
Maybe Drake London's back. I don't think it matters. I like that bet too.
But my pick for my bonus is going to be -7. I would alt spread this out to 9.5 because I don't see how the Falcons keep this a 1-score game.
Yeah.
Now, you got anything to say before we head out for the day?
No.
Okay.
Please, Mr. Rooney, if you're listening to this, please fire Mike Tomlin. Put me out of my misery, please. Thank you. Yeah.
And I want to, whenever we got some time in the offseason, playing those games that they do, I listen to these guys. They don't know ball, and I don't know if they do it for clickbait or engagement, but like, there's a lot of idiots making sports content out there. I don't think
Oh
we're
yeah.
idiots. You guys might disagree with something I say, and that's fine. But like, I don't just speak out my butt. I'm on Twitter. I listen to college football podcasts. I listen to NFL podcasts basically all week to stay informed for you guys. So give us some love. Come on, comment, subscribe, like, follow us, whatever you got to do. I got to get this dude a backdrop so he clicks in with us.
Yeah, for real.
We'll take care of that after this, but we will have Hunter back for next week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving and you enjoyed some good football over the weekend. And we got a lot happening. Tune into the games. Definitely watch the SEC and Big Ten championship games. Just have a good weekend, guys. Peace out.
Peace.